So today I'm going to take you step by step on opening up your Fundrise account. So we're going to hop here on screen so you can follow along and see all the steps it takes to getting your investing started with Fundrise. Now I will have a link for them in the show notes down below to take you to this homepage that looks just like this. Now that does help support out the channel financially, but it does give you more free content just like this. So what we're going to be doing first and foremost, you can see, is going ahead and putting in our email. So we're going to type in our email and we're going to click on get started. So the very first thing it's going to ask us to do is type in our password. So we're going to go ahead and create a password for this account, and then we're going to click on the continue button once it's highlighted. All right, so the next step it asks us is how old we are. So we're going to plug in our age and we're going to click on continue. So next up, it's going to ask you a quick question of how would you describe your level of familiarity with investing, and it gives you a bunch of different options. Click the one that works best for you, and then we're going to go ahead and click on the continue button once it's highlighted. So next up, it's going to ask where you go for investing advice, and it gives you a couple different options right over here. Click the one that works best for you, and then we're going to click on continue. Now next question, it's going to say what is your primary reason you're interested in investing with Fundrise, and it gives you a bunch of different options as well. So click the one that works best for you, and we're going to click on the continue button next. Next question is going to ask how long do you plan to hold your Fundrise investments, and this one gives you a couple different options as well. Again, click the one that works best for you, and we'll click on the continue button once it's highlighted. Next question here, it's going to ask across all your investments, how much do you hope to invest on a yearly basis? Click the answer that works best for you, and we'll click on continue. Now, once you have gone through and answered those, it's going to say based on your answers, here is the suggested account level for you, and it gives us currently the core option, but you can go ahead and click either the basic if you want to, or even the advanced option. Now, there are initial investments that are required for each level, so it's something to keep in mind. For a lot of beginner investors, the basic option might actually be a little bit better based off of the amount that you need to put in, keeping in mind that this money is intended for investing, so that money will go a long way. Once you choose the option that you would like, go ahead and click on the continue button, and we'll move on from there. Now, next up here, it's going to say based on your answers, here is a suggested investing plan for you. Now, you have different options over here, so you could do supplemental income, you could do balanced investment, or you can even do long-term investment, and it gives you an idea of which way each one of these is focused, such as your dividends, right over here, appreciation, and total returns. So whichever option works best for you, you can go ahead and click on, but again, you're not just limited to the one that they suggest. Now, next up here, it is going to ask what your legal name is, so we're going to go ahead and plug in our first and last name. Next up here is going to ask us to confirm our citizenship, and it does have it toggled already for the US, so we're going to go ahead and click on continue. And then right over here, it's going to ask what type of account you would like to open, an individual account or other type. If you click on other type, it tells you you can have an entity, joint, or a trust account. For this example, we're just going to be doing individual account. We're going to click on continue. So next up here, it is going to ask for a little bit more of the details. So it's going to ask for our address, our zip code, of course, our phone number right over here, and then our social security number and date of birth. And I know sometimes this can get a little weary for some people, but keep in mind, any type of investment does need to be actually gone through based off of federal requirements. So they actually do need this information to be able to continue on with your account. Once everything is done, you can go ahead and click on the continue button once that's highlighted. Here on the next page, it's going to ask how much you would like to invest and the initial contribution. It actually does kind of put it beyond the minimum based off of the account type that we chose, but you can also do that minimum a little bit more or other if you would like. And then you can also do auto invest, which is optional. You can have it do it later, or you can set it up now through that process. Once you go ahead and choose the amount that you want to contribute, you can go ahead and click on the continue button. Now, the next thing we need to do is actually go ahead and choose our source of funding. So you can actually link your account directly, which makes it a lot faster for you to be able to have your account up and running. So you can see all the major banks right over here. You can also click on search, and this will have you log into your account in real time so you can have everything connected. If you don't feel as comfortable doing that, you could also do entering in manually right over here, where you can enter in your bank's routing and account number. And if you want to do that or the original option, just click on which one works best for you and click on continue. So next up here is going to be pretty much all the agreements here for you. You can see all the documents. You can go through and click on each one individually and then acknowledging all of these as well. So make sure you go through and read those right over here. And then once we go ahead and do that, the next option here is going to be dividend reinvestments. It says I would like my dividends reinvested accordingly to my investment plan I have selected, or I would like my dividends distributed to my bank accounts. You could have either option available for you. And once you do that, you can click on continue. So in the next screen right over here, it's going to have you review all your information, making sure everything looks correct, as well as making sure you have the correct style of investing that you want. If everything is looking great, you can click on the invest now button, and you are going to get started with investing on on Fundrise, which again, I'll have a link for you in the show notes down below so you can get started with setting up your account just like this and have your money start working for you. Now, if you want to keep on learning more when it comes to investing for the long term, I want you to check out my next video right over here. My name is Dennis, and I'll see you in that next video.